Should Maurizio Pochettino get another season in charge? The only right answer is no. For the greater good of this club, Chelsea must sack Maurizio Pochettino. He does not deserve another season. Don't let these recent performances fool you. The recent support for Pochettino from the fan base has been embarrassing. How can you give him support after this dreadful season? Dreadful season, even if we get a Europa League, which we most likely will, it has still been embarrassing. And the coaching has been subpar. I would say almost the worst coaching in the league throughout the whole season. I am not letting this last 3, 4, 5 games fool me. And this nonsense about our form since Christmas, since the Christmas period. I'm not letting any of that fool me because during that time we drew to Sheffield, we drew to 10-man Burley, we drew to Aston Villa. We should be comfortable in the top four right now. Champions League football should be on for us next season, but it's not, and it's all because of Poch. From the start of the season, he has been sabotaging us. It's his own fault we had such a terrible start to the season. He doesn't deserve another season to be making these dreadful mistakes like playing Chilwell left wing, playing Colwell left back, playing Enzo attacking mid. These are all coaches' decisions. Coaches' decisions. This is not no injury luck or anything like that. These are all on Poch. All of it. The club gave him a squad capable of achieving top four, and he continued to miss profile the whole season. The whole season. I am not giving him a bly for finally deciding to start coaching and using tactics. All season we've looked clueless with no style of play, just transition ball and relying on Palmer all season, all season. So I'm not gonna be a flip flop and change my mind from 5 games. No way. He needs to go. It doesn't make sense to keep him here. Not at all. I'm not some tactical genius or someone that like studies tactics to see, oh look, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing this. But I can still see Poch was not coaching these players at the start of the season. In pre-season, yes, you could see a style of play, nice structure, nice playing out from the back. But as soon as the season started, well, let me not say as soon as the season started because we still played quite well against Liverpool and so on. But when against West Ham, after Chukwuemeka got injured, it seems like Poch threw everything out of the window and completely stopped trying to play his style of football. Completely trashed it. The underlying stats were telling us that we were doing well until they weren't. So if the owners are going to judge Poch from the start of the season to the end of the season, he doesn't deserve to stay. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. And constantly complaining throughout the whole season about the youth of the squad, when the youth were the players that were dragging him through it. The youth were the players that constantly saved him from losing his job. And he constantly trashes them by saying we need more experience. The experienced players were the ones stinking up the place the whole season. Sterling was crap for ages. I don't hate Thiago Silva, but Thiago Silva made numerous mistakes leading to goal. Many mistakes leading to goal. Who else? Ben Chilwell was dreadful for the whole season. I still can't remember a good game from Ben Chilwell this whole season. I know he's been unlucky with injuries, but he's past it anyway. We need to bin him off. He's not been good out as well. Cucurella, he's only been good recently. He hasn't been good for the whole season. The only reason he started performing is because he's doing the inverted role instead of Poch telling him to bomb down the line. People will make excuses like, "Oh, we've been so unlucky with injuries this season. Poch can't control these things." But let me tell you something: injuries aren't the reason for the Arsenal loss, the Sheffield United loss, the Burnley draw, the Brentford draw and loss, the Wolves loss. Twice we lost to Wolves. Liverpool lost, Middlesbrough lost, Villa lost and draw, Everton lost, United lost, Bournemouth draw, Forest lost, and West Ham lost. 90% of them teams that I named, we should be beaten even with the amount of injuries we've had. The sheer player quality we have. It doesn't matter how young they are. The player quality we have is superior to most of them teams that are named. So I don't want to hear any of this. We've had injuries excuse. A manager should stick with their suited style of play. That is how you become a consistent team, not constantly changing the style of play depending on the opposition you play. You build your own style of play that can dominate. Yeah, it's you can have some tweaks here and there, but not completely change every game. We were getting dominated by mid-table teams. No control at all. We couldn't score against deep blocks, and that was all on Poch. That was all on Poch because the way we're playing right now, we could have been playing like that from the start. From the start, it didn't have to change anything. Even with the injuries, it didn't have to change anything. It's all on Poch, and he came out with some nonsense in his press conference about you have to build a chair before you sit. What is that crap? What is that crap? You can start with your tactics. You can start with your set formation. You can start with your style of play. It's almost as if he told the players, "Oh, you have to start get to know each other first before I start coaching you. Before I start showing you the style of play. Before I start building structure." It doesn't make any sense. This guy has just constantly been making excuses for himself all season. Top coaches don't make excuses all season. And there's been many examples of top coaches overachieving this season. Many with less quality than the Chelsea squad, even with the injuries. So he does not deserve any sympathy at all. Even that Oliver Glasner is a perfect example, example of how a coach can change the trajectory of a team. Poch simply does not have it. Poch is an outdated manager whose style of play is outdated, who needs to be sacked. And that is all.